It's been a busy day, so let me bring you up to speed. You know that incredible example of snouts in the trough that I showed you yesterday. It was a disgrace. Two government ministers, their husbands and some friends off to a boozy Australia Day long weekend winery lunch in a taxpayer-funded chauffeur-driven van. Well, surprise, surprise, the minister who booked it, New South Wales Labor's Transport Minister Jo Haylen, well, she was forced to quit today.
My use of my personal driver was an error of judgment by me. My mistakes are now causing the government damage. Politics is difficult. Expectations are high, and I know that. From the very minute I was appointed a minister, I have worked my arse off.
Cry me a river. Really? She'd been getting a shiny bum in the chauffeur-driven car because many other examples were coming out and she had to go. Haylen is a former senior staffer to Anthony Albanese, by the way, but she's off to the back bench now. But there was another minister in the car on the original winery jaunt. Does Housing Minister Rose Jackson really get off scot-free because she didn't book it? She just went along for the ride? That seems a bit rich. Anyway, even the Prime Minister will want this story to go away. It's a bit close to home and it's a shocking look for Labor. With federal parliament sitting for what's likely to be the last fortnight before the election, question time was interesting enough, not for what was said, but for the questions the Prime Minister failed to answer.
Under this weak Albanese Labor government, interest rates have increased 12 times, energy bills have risen by $1,000, living standards have collapsed, 27,000 businesses have gone insolvent, and we're in a record-breaking household recession. Will the Prime Minister now apologise for promising Australians they would be better off and admit that they can't afford another 3 years of this weak Albanese Labor government?
Well, you won't be surprised to know there was no apology.
Prime Minister, by what percentage has the cost of food increased since the election of the Albanese Labor government?
And you won't be surprised to know there was no direct answer to that one either.
Can the Prime Minister provide a single example of an Australian family that has received a $275 cut to their power bill, as was promised before the last election nearly 100 times?
Again, no direct answer to that one. I don't think that family exists. We can expect the replays of Labor's 2022 election promises on electricity prices and the cost of living to feature prominently in the 2025 election campaign. But on anti-Semitism and national security, there was this question which has been hanging for many days now.
On what date was the Prime Minister first advised of the planned mass casualty terror attack against Sydney's Jewish community?
And again, there was no answer to that crucial question, which leads to queries about why the Prime Minister would be so coy. And it just leaves him, again, looking weak.